Welcome back, everybody. We have Grandmaster John Burke here. He's actually the current reigning U.S. Junior Champion. He plays for Webster, where most recently his team, the Webster Team B, actually took third place in the tournament that led into this, where Webster, the A team, took first place. So, welcome, John. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So, right off the top of my bat, I would say, obviously it's been an interesting 2020, and 2021 is a continuation on that. How hard is it for, say, a team such as Webster, which has a really strong team, to coordinate with everything being online?
Um, yeah, it's definitely different. It takes some getting used to, and the adjustment to online isn't probably the biggest deal, but the adjusting to the rapid time control,
Mm.
and the 3 games a day like this schedule, it's a little different playing rapid compared to classical, but there's nothing else we can really do except for train and prepare for it, and maybe get used to moving a bit faster, get used to these wild time scrambles that we're seeing where there's some critical moments where a lot of the times either you get the breaks or you don't. So yeah, in general, that's been the biggest adjustment that we've had to make. But we're doing the best we can under the circumstances.
I'd say
Can I
that
ask John? Oh, sorry. Go,
I
John.
was gonna say that seems to be a common theme where it does seem that online it is faster time controls than what we're used to. And Joel had mentioned that yesterday too, like playing 3 games in a single day. That's definitely very taxing, even if it is like a quicker time control such as a 25 and 5 that we're currently playing, which I'm pretty sure was the same for the Pan Ams.
Yes, yeah, it's definitely really taxing. It's funny, I was talking about this with some of my teammates yesterday, and we thought that playing these 3 rapid games is even more taxing than playing 2 classical games in one day. Because when you play 2 classical games, like there's a morning game and a night game, and you have a decent amount of time in between. But 3 rapid games like this, it really takes a lot out of you.
That makes sense. One thing Joel said yesterday too is that maybe the faster time control might affect opening choices too. Have you found that when you were saying you were making adjustments? Like, does that just mean practicing faster time controls, or is that changing the way kind of the opening choices that you make and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think both. We have to practice playing faster, but maybe openings you can maybe take more risks in rapid. For example, in classical, if your opponent has a lot of time to consider the opening, they might be able to maybe take advantage of
Mhm.
things that they wouldn't be able to in rapid. So there's definitely an element of that where you have to consider the practical element as well, because in rapid, nobody's going to be able to play perfect. It's more about playing intuitively and trying to stay, close on the clock is the most important thing. So there's definitely an element of adjusting your play style too.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Um, how closely have you been watching the games when you're not playing?
We're all here. We're all in the same place. We're all in the same building playing together. So we're
That's cool. 'Cause
all
not every team is, right? So
yeah. A lot of the teams are playing separately, but we're all here, and so whenever the 6 players are playing, everyone else is kind of watching nervously, trying to
sure.
keep up. So yeah, it's kind of cool being able to all be together because between the rounds, it's a lot easier to communicate and to prepare together. Whereas if we were in separate places, it would have been difficult to coordinate, I think.
Yeah, I was curious how much you were actively preparing together. So that makes a lot of sense that if you were in person, that it's easier to coordinate like that. Uh, Definitely. Sorry, it looked like John is
Oh,
talking, but I
sorry,
can't
I
hear.
was muted. I was saying, sorry, on that front, that you're all together, that's really cool. What was the reaction in Arm's game yesterday when he hit that Rook G2?
Yeah, at first, I mean, a couple of us were watching the game. Well, first of all, there were a bunch of games going, so we weren't all watching that one. But at first, I thought the move he played was good too. I missed it just like he did. I missed this check that his opponent had, and then once we noticed, we just thought it was mate, and then we're like, oh, Rook G2, and he survives. but then we realized that he's actually saving the game. It was quite a rush of emotions in the span of like 10 seconds. He went from winning, then we thought he was just lost, and then somehow he was saving the game. But we've had a lot of moments like that where it just comes down to the very end. And a lot of the times it has to do with nerves, basically, being able to handle it with seconds on the clock.
Yeah, that was an exciting moment for sure.
Yeah, it definitely took me a second as well. I'm looking at that like, huh. And then once you see the idea behind it, it's like, okay, he just has to get out of the check, and then he has the saving draw. It just had a very nice round this round as well, or against Nicholas. So that was a solid round for Webster against your crosstown rival St. Louis.
Yeah, the round was solid enough. We could have lost the match. We could have also won the match. You know, these games are so topsy-turvy. We were hoping to do a little bit better because in order to challenge for first, we're going to have to score some more points. But yeah, that match definitely could have gone either way.
And there was three opposite color bishop endgames in that match.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the one Lennerman did lose that one, unfortunately, but the other two looked pretty straightforward.
Yeah, in particular, those types of endgames are very difficult to calculate when you have little time.
Yeah.
So it's tough to play perfectly.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. I think I would have been capable of losing a lot of those positions from either side. So they're definitely instructive watching here from the comfort and of the chair and not being the player. I'm sorry, John, do you have the results right in front of you? Do you have the scores?
I don't have the updated ones yet.
I know that UTRGV is in the lead by 1 point over. No, I'm sorry. SLU is in the lead by 1 point over UTRGV, and then we are 1.5 points behind UTRGV.
Gotcha.
I don't know the exact number, but
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out because there was in one game an opponent offered a draw and then the opponent resigned, but we're pretty sure that was a mouse slip. So we're
Were you aware of that? Oh, sorry, what was that?
I'm not aware of that.
No,
I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, in the first board with Texas versus Texas, it was Bartel offered a draw and then Andre resigned. So we're not sure what exactly happened there.
So this was like in the opening, or
no, at the very end in a dead drawn end game.
So, and that result stands, I guess.
That's what we were wondering.
Yeah.
Like we were assuming, I guess, probably, but I've not been. Yeah, I haven't seen that happen in practice before, so I don't know how that.
I do remember a long time ago in the U.S. Chess League, and this is not even the Pro Chess League. This is before that. This was the U.S. Chess League.
Yeah.
I remember I was on the New Jersey Knockouts, the team, and we were playing New York. And I remember, I don't want to embarrass him, but it was Michael Bodek who was playing for New York against someone from our team, and he was trying to win. Actually, he was like slightly better in endgame, and I guess he tried to offer a draw because it would secure the match, but he accidentally resigned.
Oof.
So it's happened before, but I didn't know that this happened today. This is the first I'm hearing about it.
That's yeah. So if it stands, it definitely helps out Rio, who they had a slow start to this tournament, but they really picked it up like the last two rounds.
Yeah, we have to give them credit. Yesterday against us, they played really well. So yeah, we're gonna have to definitely score a lot in order to compete with them.
And probably, hopefully, for your team's sake, Rio and St. Louis have like a pretty calm round when they match up again.
Yeah, I guess we're hoping for 2-2 or 2.5, 1.5, something in that range.
Yeah. So waiting for the pairings for the next round.
How old are you when you played on the knockouts, John?
I think I started in 2012, so I would have been 11, around 11, 12.
Gotcha. Yes, I played on for 2 years. I think I probably just missed overlapping with you. I played when I was still in college, and Mac was playing, and I think Joel was asking Mac for some other possible board fours, and so I got too.
Yeah.
They were like the forerunners, and then the Pro Chess League happened after the U.S. Chess League, and then now we got the States Cup. So we consider the Passers kind of the spiritual successors of the Montclair Sopranos. But we'll see if the States Cup as a league grows more. But those were fun matches in the U.S. Chess League. I'm sure the opponent that you mentioned is probably able to laugh about it now, if that was 10 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, I am curious what they say about that though for this instant. If, is it? I mean, I guess you would probably have a better sense, John, since you've played in more serious online events.
Yeah, I'm not completely aware of the specifics of this particular game, but I would assume that the result would stand.
Yeah,
In the same way, like if you make a mouse slip, that would stand. I guess it's almost a form of a mouse slip in a way.
like it. Yeah,
It's
That's
very unfortunate, but I guess that it would stand by the rules.
yeah.
But
It's the price of paying online too, right? I mean, there are these unfortunate things that could happen. Somebody's internet could just, like there are things that, you hope it doesn't happen, but it is what it is, I guess.
yes,
It does seem like 1 point could make a huge difference in these matches, right? It's like especially going by game points, it's all pretty close. So be interesting to see what happens.
for sure. Yeah, one game can be like a 2 point swing if a person wins or loses.
Exactly.
A lot of these matches are so close that anything can happen.
Yeah. All right. Do you what is your plan before the next round? Is there do you guys have any team plans like to kind of prep, or do you guys mostly kind of rest at this point, or who your opponents are? Some people doing last minute work, or mostly resting and eating?
A combination of both. A lot of the time after a game, we don't want to overdo it and over prep and get just exhausted for no reason. So we do rest a bit, but of course we do, try to prepare a little bit and kind of come up with a team game plan and just try to figure out what we're going to do next.
Cool.
So that makes sense to me. Again, as you mentioned earlier, playing 3 games in a single day and then adding analysis in between, that could definitely be taxing. Like I'd personally be looking for rest and just get my sugars back up.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely appreciate you coming on. Exciting day. It's fun to have a New Jersey native come on for our, the passage stream. And of course, we're unbiased as best we can be, but then, when somebody's from New Jersey or somebody that's played for the Montclair Sopranos is playing, it's hard not to root. But they've been exciting, fighting chess type of games. So it's been a pleasure to be commentating on it. But thank you again for coming on.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me.
And if there's any next plans for you, or if you want to share, feel free. Like, what's next on your personal agenda, chess-wise?
Oh, that's a secret. I can't tell you.
Fair enough.
Nice. Yeah. Don't give away any state secrets.
What's the next opening you're going to play the next time you're over the board?
Yes, 1A4.
Oh, perfect. I'm going to start prepping.
No bomb cloud?
Maybe. That's a little too strong. I can't do that.
Have to get the chessables on
Lifetime repertoire, right? Gotta prep up. Well,
awesome. Well, thanks again. Good luck the rest of the rounds. Again, we're going to try to be unbiased, but we'll see.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
right, thank you, John.
All right, everybody, we will be back shortly. Next round starts in 42 minutes, so it'll probably be like a quick lunch break, and we'll be good to go.
All right. See you guys.